Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. It's Friday Reads Live. This is where we talk about what we're reading today, Friday, this weekend, and sometimes into the following week. Welcome, welcome to all the people that are in the chat that may not be able to actually chat because they're just listening, having their lunch, or working. And welcome to UDL, first in the house. I do appreciate that. How are you doing, girl? We are 10 days into 2025, and it just like the shit show is just coming every day. Okay. Oh my God. So, thank you. Friday reads to you, honey. Um, yeah, it looked like it's gonna never be a dull moment in 2025. Stuff just be happening every day. Hey, 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 Latrice, how are you? Welcome. Happy Friday. What are you guys reading? Hello. Tracy, welcome. I'm a Lola. What are you guys reading and how are you? And how is your 2025 going? Is it just a shit show that it's starting to be, or is that just my impression? Oh my goodness. Oh, hello, Sharon. How are you? Welcome. Happy Friday. What are you guys reading? Tell me everything. I want to know. I'm gonna put my tea there. So while y'all are trying to tap in what you're reading, let me get this out of the way. I got like, ugh. Okay. Ouch. All right. So what am I reading? Okay. So Dia, Amalula says, to DL, snow here in DFW. Oh wow. Okay, staying inside till Monday. So that's reading material there. Hello, Lauren H. Welcome. Let's see. DL says personally 2025 is fine. Reading and writing. I am ignoring most everything else for sanity's sake. Girl, you right about that now. I might need to take you up on that one. Teresa, hello, welcome. Happy Friday. What are you reading and how is your 2010 treating you? Tracy says 10 days in, and Lord have mercy. I know, right? The current events of the world are exhausting, and I have to agree with you totally. Hello, lady. How are you? Happy Friday, lady. What are you reading, and how is 2010 treating you? Do you feel like it's a shit show, just gonna get worse, or are you just ignoring the news completely, like DL? Ah. Hello, Alicia. How are you? Welcome. What are you reading and how is 2010 treating you? Let's see. Latrice says, currently reading some Christian books, okay, and may start 54 miles this weekend. Okay. Amala says, what's happening? I no longer watch the news under a rock. Girl, stay under that rock, okay? That's all I got to say. Because nothing is good coming out of the news, okay? Nothing is good coming out of the news. Hello, Curtis. Welcome. How are you? What are you reading? How is 2010 treating you? Uh, oh, 2010. I meant 2025. Ooh, child. I'm trying to go back already, honey. I'm trying to go back already. Um, yeah. So, Curtis, how are you? What's up with you? And how is 2025 treating you? Olivia says reading women Nobel Prize winners. Okay, now that's interesting. In literature for 2025, January is Olga. Wait, it's Torka. Isn't it Torka Shook? Is it Shook? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I know who that is, and I'm not. I'm wondering if I haven't read one book by this person. Oh no, I haven't read that. That's Flights. Yeah, okay. And in a buddy read, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and lots of middle grade. Okay, that sounds good because Flights is pretty consistent if I remember correctly. Oh, Sharon laughing at me, girl. Tracy said, I'm thankful and have joy for my family and friends and blessed buffer. Okay, okay. Teresa said, let me ride with you. my God. Oh my goodness. Amalola says reading two Japanese novels. Oh, I have that on my list to read in March. It's Butter by Asako Yuzuki. Is that how it's? I guess it's Yuzuki. And Kokoro by Natsume Sosike. Okay, January in Japan. I didn't know who's doing January in Japan. I hadn't heard about that. Give us the rundown on the January in Japan because I don't know that one. Uh, Lady says read a few articles and then go back to ignoring everything. Yeah, I know, girl. I know. I feel you on that. Personally, it's going pretty well, pretty good. Okay, that's good. Jenna Smith, welcome. Jenna says reading The Good House. I'm gonna be reading The Good House next month by Tanana Reed Do. I hope you're enjoying it. Alicia said 225 is a trip. I know, right? I'm enjoying a snow day. Girl, enjoy that snow day and just stop watching the news. Plan to start Herod the Great, okay, by Zora Neale Hurston this afternoon. Very nice. Okay, so lady said just finished the women could fly. Who's that by? It was interesting. The women could fly. Is that title familiar to me? Birdie says happy Friday. It's freezing here. I'm reading Hild by Nicole Griffith. Okay, so I guess a lot of people are having snow days. So that's perfect for, getting your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your cup of hot chocolate, and your book. I can see a lot of people finishing books during these snow days. Amalola said it's a hashtag I saw for a few years ago. I wonder who started that and decided to jump on this year. I don't know who hosted, but I love Japanese work and translation, so atmospheric. Though Butter is a bit contemporary. Yeah, I know it's contemporary, but I heard really good things about it. So that's why I picked it up last year, towards the end of the year, and didn't get a chance to read it. So it's definitely going to be read this year. Curtis said 2025 is starting off crazy so far. Yeah, I hear you on that. I just watch a little bit of the news and then go back into my corner in the house and read books. Girl, yeah. Ugh. I mean, that's all you can do. What can we do? What can we do? Hola Alba, Happy New Year. Let's see. On Espanol, what is it? It's buenano. Is it buenano? I'm not sure. Reading hasn't started yet. Okay, family left on the. Oh, they left on the 6th. And have been recovering. Started the 2025 book journal. Very nice. I would love to have a sneak peek of that. Um, Maybe you could give us a sneak peek at the book club. All right. Olivia says, "Ooh, I love the women could fly." Megan Giddens. Okay. Megan Giddings. Okay, Megan Giddings. Tracy said halfway through What Passes is Love, Trisha Thomas. It's really good. I know. I really like that book. I think it's a book that not a lot of people talked about when it came out, but I think it's a really good one. Let's see. DL says on the list for January, most arcs. Okay, Good Dirt, by C. Wilkerson. I'm waiting to hear what you got to say about that one. The Relationship Mechanic, which is a romance. Reclaiming the Black Body, which is nonfiction. More or Less Maddie, Lisa Genova. But I want to wait for audio. Okay. All right. You got a lot on though. Amala says snow days. I still work from home. Oh shit. Yeah, you still got to work from home, but still no urge to go outside or be pulled outside. Yeah. Okay. Because you don't have any pets, right? Amalola, you don't have a dog that you have to walk or anything. Although I don't know how you would get a dog to walk out in a, if you all snowed in and everything. Dogs don't usually like having their paws or cold and everything. Tracy said Megan Giddings. Oh, did anyone read Lakewood? No, I did not read Lakewood. That's not in my road. Um, okay, Tracy said it was something else. Lakewood. Um, prosperous, prosperous anos, prosperos, prosperos anos. Okay, I don't know, girl. You asking the wrong person. Alba, help us. DL said, I started Lakewood, but I don't do well with certain genres. Okay, whatever genre that is. Wasn't Lakewood like what they call speculative fiction? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I understood it to be a speculative fiction work. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember it to be because if I remember correctly, it's something about experimentation on people or something like that. I remember when it came out. I can even remember the cover and everything, but I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not reading that." Uh, Amalola says only from singing Feliz Navidad. Hello, Nicole. Happy Friday to you. What are you reading? And how is your 2025 treating you? Okay, so DL said, oh, I also tried The Women Could Fly. Oh, and it wasn't for you. Okay. Olivia says Red Lakewood last January, as per Tracy's suggestion. Ooh, wow, that is a crazy one. But is Lakewood considered speculative fiction or something else? Or horror? I don't know. I really don't know. I just thought it was speculative fiction from the way people described it. Amalola said pet. I can barely take care of myself. The pet within me. Oh my God. I didn't think you had a pet. I ain't judging. I ain't got one either. I'm allergic. Okay, Nicole said, Fearing the Black Body is also a good nonfiction read. Yeah, I've heard people say it's really good. Teresa said, I am reading Dark Lover, a paranormal romance buddy read with Tracy, and Real by Kennedy Ryan. Wow, we'll start 54 miles this weekend. Okay. Tracy says, yes, I think it was speculative fiction. Okay. I wasn't gonna do it, but I read it in 2020 and Lord have mercy. Okay, so yeah, he was up all night. Lady said my pup wouldn't go out until I went out. Like, I look, I see your pup right here. I see him. Hmm. Ain't nobody going out in the snow talking about let's go for a pee. That dog is like, for what? My paws are gonna freeze off. Alba says, You're all so cute, Felice. I know. Okay, I was a little closer. I said I know. Okay. I just didn't say Felice. I said bueno. Okay. So that's not good. Feliz nuevo. Nuevo. Feliz ano nuevo. Okay. All right. That's enough of my Spanish lesson for the day. Tracy said parts of Lakewood were definitely in the horror genre. Oh Jesus, yeah, no, I'm pass on that one. Malone said I was so far off. Oh my God. Nicole said I finished the first book in the French comic series. Oh, Aya, you read Aya. 80% done with Last Thing You Soon. Oh, you did Aya. I love Aya. Aya is good. I hope she comes out with a new Aya in the next, either this year or next year. But I'm not sure if she is intending on that. I'm not sure yet. But yeah. Uh, yeah. Aya. Aya. Not Anya. Aya. 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 Aya, not Anya. Mm. So what am I reading? I'm reading. Let me see. I got to get my iPad out because I'm reading this book right here. Content. Yeah, no, by Mark Lagat. I'm trying to finish this up for tomorrow because I'm gonna probably finish it tonight with no problem. It's kind of like mm, I want to say it's kind of sort of like a different kind of thriller. So we're reading it for tomorrow, and the author is gonna be on Skype in our meeting tomorrow. So I'm reading that, and I'm reading Bellamy by Guy de Maupassant, and Guy de Maupassant, and I'm reading this with Anna. We're like a quarter in, and it's already presenting itself as a very good and interesting book. So anxious to finish reading this one so I can see, so I can watch some one of the many different film adaptations because they've done a couple for this one. So that's what I'm reading today and this weekend. All right. Teresa said to Tracy, yeah, you do. It's just an addictive as I remember, and I flew through the first half. Okay. Tracy said, what's that first book? Oh, the first book is called Penitent. I don't think you'll have any time finding this one because I think the guy who wrote it is Scottish, and I had to pick it up on Kindle because I could not I couldn't get the physical copy. It's going to take long to get here, so I just picked it up on Kindle, and so far so good. It's a very it has like a disturbing kind of beginning, but it's an interesting look at. Uh, he's like a detective, and he's a little bit a little crazy. Um, but as a whole, it reads fairly quickly, and it's an interesting, different kind of thriller. So I don't know if I'd really call it a thriller or is it more of a mystery. I would say mystery thriller. So this is what we're reading for. Yeah, Normandy Book Club one. And we also are going to be discussing another one. We're discussing two books. So we'll discuss The Penitent in the beginning of the meeting. And the second part of the meeting, we're going to be discussing How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. Now, I listened to this one on audio. Wish I could get those 7 hours back. Let's just put it that way on that one. Let's see, where is it? Bella Mackie. Um, yeah, so it's this one right here. How to Kill Your Family, Bella Mackie. I do not recommend. Okay, there you go. So that was the first book that I finished of the year. Was this one? Is How to Kill Your Family, and I'm still working on other books, so I haven't finished anything else. But I'm going to be finishing The Penitent tonight, so that'll be my second. And then I have Toujours. I have what's that book called? I have the Paul Laurence Dunbar one. I still have 200 pages left to read. So if I'm lucky, I can finish Paul Laurence Dunbar at the beginning of next week. So I'll be getting more into the groove once we get out of this weekend. So because book club weekends are always just my weekend, and there just isn't much else because I have to work on Saturday morning and then have book club on Saturday afternoon. And then that leaves me Sunday, and so everything gets kind of squashed. Um, so yeah. Um, let's see. Curtis says to Lady, am enjoying you in the read along for Cane River. How are you enjoying the book so far? Okay, so I don't know what Lady has said. Teresa is laughing. Girl, I don't know what Teresa laughing at. I don't know, Curtis. You asking me how I'm enjoying the book? I had to DNF the book. It was not. I was not getting along with the book. This is the third attempt I have made to read Cane River. I picked up Cane River years ago, and I tried to read it and I couldn't read it. I just couldn't read it. I don't know what it was. Tension span out the window. I could not read that book. So, second attempt I made of reading it was a couple of years later, maybe 2 or 3 years later. Still couldn't read that book. Hey, Margaret, Happy New Year. What are you reading and how is your 2025 coming along? And then this time I really did, this time I really put in effort. I think I read all the way up to page 80, 82 or something like that. I think the thing that bugs me the most about the book is the writing. I don't like the way she writes her story because I know it's a true story. It's her family story. Um and it's a lot like what has been recounted to her from other family members. And she's pieced it all together to make it into this book. But it's a book it's almost like she's straddling nonfiction and fiction at the same time. And for me, there's something about it that comes off not great. It doesn't, it's not flattering the writing at all. It's borderline, for me, it was a little boring and I was having a lot of difficulty sticking with it. So as you know, as I do now, if there's a book that I cannot get along with, I have to DNF it because it will put me in a slump really quick. So it's just not going to work out. I tried this the third time, and you know how it be. Let's see. Tracy, no, lady says, "Hey Curtis, enjoying it so far. Started part 2 yesterday." Okay. And Tracy said, "Cane River is a rough one. I got through it years ago, but can't reread it." Now I'm not surprised because the writing isn't that great. Um, Teresa said, "At that way, you said I don't recommend it." What I don't recommend, no, I don't recommend Bellamaki. Frankly, I don't recommend it because, okay, the story is essentially it's being told from the point of view of this young woman who, when she was a child, was rejected by her biological father. So the mother had had a fling, an ongoing fling with a older man that she was in love with. An older man was like kind of pretending a little bit with the woman, with the young woman. And then eventually what happening was the mother wound up falling pregnant. And when she did get pregnant, and she tried to get help from the father, who happens to be some extremely wealthy Englishman who's already married with kids. They basically tell her to get out, that they don't want to have anything to do with her or whatever, and they didn't care to hear about his you know offspring. So the mother eventually tells her who her father is. So what we're reading the musings, whatever girl's head at the time, and it can be on anything. It's there's a lot of societal critique in the book, and we're also hearing about this her biological father's family, the rich family, and how she's going to go about killing them. And in the beginning of the book, she's in jail. That's not a spoiler. She's in jail, and she's in jail for a crime she did not commit, although she already killed her entire family. And so you're basically listening to what she's talking about, killing each member of the family, but then at the same time, she's making all this social commentary on like the world or the way people act or the things people do. And it's exhausting. It really is exhausting. And I wish I could get those 7 hours back from listening to it because I don't think it was worth it. There have been many books that have been done with this kind of idea and they're done better. That's all I have to say. This was like not great. I mean, I personally could have done without it. But there you have it. Um Mila Nixon says, I always see so many copies of Cane River at the Goodwill. I don't know. I haven't been at the Goodwill in years, but if you say so, girl, I don't know. Um, let's see. Margaret says she's reading Rising about a sea level rise and relocations of communities on US front lines. Oh, that must be interesting, but depressing. More poetic than I was expecting. Elizabeth Rush is an author slash. Yeah, somebody mentioned this. I was watching Heidi's videos. I can't remember what Heidi's book tube name is, but she mentioned this book and she said it was really really good. Yeah, well, I already know about, I already know about Louisiana. You ain't got to tell me. Hey Rosa, how are you? How did that cake come out, girl? Nicole said, I keep thinking Cane River is the book. No, not Cane, Cane River. Uh Lady said the writing isn't the best, but I'm enjoying the pieces of history she includes throughout the book. Yeah. I wish the writing was better because then I could enjoy that history too. But at that the way she writing that one, I can't. I can't partake. I can't. It's too hard. Teresa said, I read Cane River years ago too, but don't remember how I felt about it. Well, maybe you should pick it up and read it again. Hey, Tangible Reads. Hey, Courtney. Good afternoon. How are you? What are you reading? And how is 2025 treating you, girl? Is it as crazy as it looks, or are you just not watching the news? Margaret said Kane is on my long TBR. Oh, you're talking about Kane by Jane Toomer? Yeah, that's another book. That's another story, that book. But we're talking about Cane River by Lalita Tatamy, I think is her name. Rosa said, I read it years ago too, didn't like it. Didn't like the characters or the writing. I'm not at all surprised at your reaction. I'm just glad I read this from the library years ago. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I probably should have got mine from the library too, but that wasn't possible. Um, let's see. Tracy said, how did you come across Bella Mac? Oh no, Bella Mackey was is a pick from my Normandy book club. I would never have picked this book up. Are you mad, Tracy? No way, Jose, would I have ever picked out How to Kill Your Family. So, oh yeah, I want to read this. Hell no. That was book number 3 on our Normandy book club list. So let's see, what is number 4? I don't even know what number 4 is. Let me see if I can figure that out. Number 4 for book club is going to be Heaven and Earth Grocery Store in February. So I'm really excited about that one. You're simply so upset. I appreciate your honesty. It's the only way I know how to do it. Cause I no ain't nobody paying me, so I'm surely not gonna lie. I'll just tell you how I feel about it, and y'all can take it how you want to take it. But yeah, no, I would have never picked this as a book to read. That it just doesn't. It when I was reading the when we had the long, how we do my book club has a long list, so each member gives 2 titles, and then I compile a long list, and I send it out to all the members, and then we have to kind of go through and figure out what we want to vote for because we're voting for 7 books. So we usually read 7 books within the school year. So we start in September, we start in September of 2024, and we're going to go to June of 2025. So I remember when it was in the list, I immediately scratched it off when I saw it. I was like, hell no, I'm not, nah, I don't want to read that. Let's scratch it off. And here we are. So if you want to keep up with that at around the month of probably the month of May or maybe April, I usually do my long list for my book club for the following school year. So that's see all of the books that we choose from. And then if you watch that video and then you come back a month later, see what we find, which are the 7 books we find on that we voted. Um, let's see. Birdie said, I donated my copy of Cane River to a free library outside of my doctor's. Okay, well, that's good. Somebody will pick it up, I'm sure. Curtis said, I started part number one of the book and wish that's number one is Suzette and wish there was more dialogue from the characters to bring the story. See, but that's the problem with the book. It's true, but she didn't know what those people were saying. That's why, like when you're gonna write a story about your family, I think you need to decide, am I gonna write this from a nonfiction point of view, or am I gonna write this from a fiction point of view? Perfect example of that. There are a lot of people that do that, that write a bit of their family story as a fiction point of view. So if you remember Memphis, Memphis is one of those books. That's part of her family story, but she wrote Memphis as a fiction novel. Okay, now the fact that we know that it's a fiction novel, of course, makes us scratch our head and go, you know, but at least we know that it's fiction. So what we're reading doesn't in our head up because you're reading and thinking, this is this nonfiction? Wait, no, is this fiction? That's what you're doing. It's like it's fighting each other while you're reading it because of the way it's written, and I found that very off-putting. So say and the thing when you say you wish you had the dialogue is because to you when you're reading it, you're feeling it's true, but you're getting more fiction vibes the way it's written. And I think for that is another thing that was just I was confused. Bertie said, even though I didn't gel with it, I'm looking forward to watching the Cane River videos. Yeah. Lady said, Cane is another one that I would like to read at some point. Yeah, me too, lady, at some point. Because I haven't heard anything good about Cane, but eventually I'll get around to it. I know it won't be in 2025. Courtney said 2025 is busy. I finished a book called Pinata today, so reading done. Okay, cool. Uh, Courtney said, "Now I gotta look up Cane River." Yeah, go ahead. It's Lalita Tatamy. That's the name of the writer. Um, DL said, "I have it on good authority." Reggie reads that Cane is, and I quote, "ass." Oh my god! Oh my god, that's hilarious. Tracy said, "That's why I asked because I know that's not your thing." No, it's not my thing, Tracy. Not my thing. Margaret said, I've heard people loving Heaven and Earth. Yeah, that I'm super for. I mean, I had that in my my library, so I'm ready to read that. And yeah, I wish we were reading that now, but we got to talk about this freaking Bella Mackey mess. So it is what it is. Teresa said, "Oh, I loved Heaven and Earth grocery store about humanity." Hey, Michael Reeves, how are you? What are you reading? And how is 2025 going for you? Is it a shit show or are you just avoiding the news and enjoying your life? Um, I see. Bertie says that's the part that confused me. It seemed to be straddling the line between fiction. Yeah, and for me, that is like I don't blame Lolita Tatamy. I blame whoever did the editing because whoever did the editing knew full well that that's what was happening, and I don't know how they could have said that that was okay. Because I'm sure that if she would have chosen one or the other, the book probably would have been better written and the story told in a better way. Because even if, let's say, she decided to go the fiction route, There would have been nothing wrong with putting the pictures and all of that at the end of the book or at the beginning of the book with family tree and all of that. She could have still done that even if she was writing it as fiction. But this in between thing, I don't know. I mean, did she write the second one like that? Does anybody know? Because I mean, I didn't read the first one, so I didn't read the second one. But the second one, she learned from that mistake, and somebody said, "Girl, don't do it again." The same thing. I hope somebody told her something that she could write the second one better. The second one, I don't remember what it's called. Something. Is it Red River or something like that? I can't remember. So I don't know. I mean, we have to ask people that actually read the second one to see if it's better, but I don't know. Nicole said Freshwater was nonfiction written as fiction. Yeah, and Freshwater was just to me incomprehensible. I didn't know what I was reading. So I stopped like around page 30 or something. I was like, I don't know what this is. And I quit. And then ever since I quit that book, and I remember the year that it came out was the year that I purchased and started reading it. Couldn't understand it. Whenever I asked somebody, or they'd say, "Oh yeah, I just read Kane. I just read Freshwater. It's so good." And then I would ask them, "So what's the book about?" And they just be like, they wouldn't be able to tell me what the book was about. Not even just one little line overall to explain to me what is this book Freshwater about. That's when I started to, I was like, yeah, no, that book is for me because I'm not understanding what's going on there. Nicole said, I don't like that. No, I don't like it either. Um, Albert Heaven and Earth made me get his backlist. I finished already. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He's a great writer. Nicole said, not the Kane made getting dragged. Lady said, I would definitely consider it historical fiction. She explains in the author's note that she took liberties with the right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we know that because she says she gets a lot of this information from other family members who are recounting the thing, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. And she said, I have a problem with her not being sure if she's writing nonfiction or fiction. That's what I have a problem with. Corey said, I can too double take because that Cane River author looked white on Amazon. She just looked, yeah, she's light. Well, that's what the book is essentially about. It's about the women in her family and how, with generation, they tried to make sure they kept themselves as white or got whiter as the generations went on because a lot of the older members of the family, the great great greats, were color struck, and they were pretty much wanting them to continue to look very fair skinned. That's what the book is essentially about. Is how that came about and what these women went through, kind of thing. Um, Tracy said, "Wait, the same author wrote." Yes, that's the second part. Red River. Red River is supposed to be the second part to Cane River. Amalola said to Alba, I hear his memoir, The Color of Water, is excellent. Yeah, I have heard that as well. Tracy said, every page I kept saying, what the heck did I just read? Indescribable. Yeah, I know. It was not the best. Not the best reading experience for me. That's why I quit after page 32 or something. Alba said to Amalola, oh, thanks. I'll grab that one next. Nicole said, I DNF'd Freshwater because I'm like, is this a memoir with a twist? Tracy said to Alba James McBride, The Color of Water, his memoir is so good. Hey D, how you doing? Happy New Year. Oh, D is reading Harlem Rhapsody. Okay, now listening to the Jewel of the Blues. Okay. So, how is 2025 treating you, D? Are you watching the news or are you just like, the news? What is that? And you just living your best life and reading the good books? Tracy said, I'm a Lola. Sorry, I typed the comment before you. Okay. Hey, Curly Q, how are you? Happy Friday. What are you reading? And how is your 2025 going? Um, yeah, so this is reading is always it's like a personal thing, but I remember there was somebody, it was a girl that was on Threads, I think, was saying something like, why do we have to critique books? I think she said, and I was just like, what do you mean? Why do we have to critique books? I mean, we critique movies, TV shows, we critique everything, restaurants, theme parks, we critique everything. So why would books be something that we wouldn't critique? So yeah, that's something that people still have issues with. But anyway, Amalo says to Tracy, we can all love on James Brown. He's also really cool. Yeah, he's very cool. That can I attest to. He's very cool. I've met him a couple of times. He's really nice. He said, trying not to watch too much news right now. Oh my God, it's your birthday on the 28th. So trying to see what I want to do, plan something. Girl, your birthday is the day after my husband's birthday. My husband's birthday is the 27th of January. We'll plan something fun. Go out and bookshop. Go out and, I don't know, throw down at the club or something. I don't know. Have fun. Um, yeah. Anyway, so there was another thing I want to ask. I was thinking about this because here again, I was on, I don't know if it was Threads or Blue Sky, but Melanated Reader had put she had put a comment out there, and she said, "Oh, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer long, thorough book reviews, or do you prefer list? Or just a simple. This is what the book about, and this is what I liked about it. This is what I didn't like about it, or to just make lists of books." So she put it out there, and there were quite a few people that answered, and it seemed to be very split for to me, because there were like maybe 20 people who actually responded to it and actually, oh well, I like this, or or I prefer this, or I don't like this, or whatever. So this is something that I always have issues with because I'm not sure what people like anymore, and I feel like it changes regularly. I would say every year it changes to something different. Okay. And you can kind of tell, like if you watch BookTube, you can kind of tell what kind of reviews people like, or people reviews that people actually watch regularly. And then you kind of understand why you don't see a lot of reviews on BookTube, because a lot of people don't really want to review because they're afraid, oh, if I review, I'm going to get a low, viewing on the video, which is kind of true, but kind of not, because then you can get a higher amount of people watching that review over years, because people are going to be like, oh yeah, I wanted to read this book, but I don't really know if I want to if I want to read. Let me see if I can find some review. And then people wind up watching your review pretty regularly, with time. So it also depends on what people really enjoy, whether they want. A lot of people seem to be enjoying the long ass review. The long ass review is when you sit there and you have written out your review. Your review might be 2 pages long, and you basically read your review out. That's the long ass review. That's almost like the review, but you saying it. Then you have like the review, like what I do. It's like a review that might be tops 15 minutes, not more. So it probably falls between 5 and 15 minutes, depending on what kind of book it is, and how deep it is to explain, kind of thing. And then you have the person that doesn't do the review at all. they'll just, say, oh, this is the book. They'll read a little bit of what it's about, or they'll just tell you the plot line. And then they'll say, yeah, I liked it, or no, I didn't like it, or I DNF'd it, or whatever. And so that's the other kind of review. And then there's just people that don't review at all, and they just say, oh, these are some books that I'm thinking about reading, or some books that I read. And then they'll just say, yeah, I like this one, I didn't like it. So that's to give you an idea. All right, let's see. Amalola says, I like long form reviews when I've read a book. Yeah, I agree. Some people do know how to review without spoilers, which is fine. Okay. It's fine, but you don't want to hear that. That's basically what you're saying. You don't want to hear, you wouldn't mind hearing the review if it didn't have spoilers. But since you know that most people review with spoilers, you prefer waiting until you've read the book, which I totally understand that. Rosa said, I just prefer a review with no spoilers, not too much of the story. But if it's long, it needs to be well written. Well, yeah, duh. Yeah, it does need to be well written, doesn't it? DL said, people have shortened the attention spans. I know, it's annoying. That's why we have book promo that is just words arrows. My God, we have just, yeah. See, that to me is sad. Tracy said the long ass review. Well, it is. I don't know what to tell you. Some of these people reviewing a book for 25 and 30 minutes. Okay. It's a long ass review, Tracy. Envelope said also not bothered by spoilers, never affected my reading experience. Okay, so that's interesting. Teresa said, I hate long ass reviews. Nicole said, love book reviews. When I finish a book or movie, I look for reviews on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people do, actually. Nicole said, if I had a channel, I do spoiler reviews. Yeah, now that's the thing. Somebody asked me, why don't you do spoiler reviews, or why doesn't anybody on BookTube do spoiler reviews? And I said, because I feel like it's already hard enough to sell somebody on a review in general. And if you start to do a spoiler review, then ain't nobody watching your video. Period. Although if it was a movie spoiler video, I think it would be a little bit the same. It's just that you're in the beginning. This is a spoiler video. So if you don't want to watch it, then go away. They said that in the beginning. I guess you could say the same for review, but nobody will watch it. Let's see. Lola said to Nicole, especially when I read classics. Okay, when you read classics. Nicole said, I want to open dialogue about certain parts of the book. Now, this is something that is I'm not sure how to do something like that, other than to maybe like do a review, later come back and say, okay, if you're interested in discussing more of the spoilers of this particular book, I'll be online, do live on this day, this time, to talk about the in-depth stuff of this book, to talk about the spoiler parts of this book. And it's something I'm thinking of doing, but I don't know if that would interest anyone. Let's see. Lady said the numbers for videos do well over time. Yeah, they do. Nicole said, I agree. If it's long, you better have something to say. Because 30 minutes is a long time to be listening to a review. Amalola said, not bothered by spoilers. I'll watch a movie, search the plot on Wikipedia, still enjoy the movie. Q said, I don't need a 30-minute review, but I will listen to a long review if I read the book. Okay. Letty said, I like to search for reviews after finishing a book. DL said, sometimes I just want to know what happened. I look up spoilers all the time. Oh, that's interesting. Curly Q said, I don't like spoilers, so if I haven't read it, I'm skipping. I don't even read jacket covers until I'm at least 50 pages in. I feel jacket reveals too much. Yeah, sometimes they do. Curly Q said, yes, I love dialogue about books. Oh, you'd love that. So the second convo on another day, but as a live where people can ask questions and we can talk about it. Yeah, I might think about doing that. Um, yeah, I might think about doing that. If I guess basically what I have to do is try it out and see how people react to that kind of idea. If if doing a second video that's live to discuss details of the book and then spoilers. Let's see. Curly Q said that reminds me of the lives. Yeah, with Michael and Tatiana. Yeah, yeah, it'd be like the life with Tatiana and Michael, except I wouldn't have Tatiana and Michael. It'd just be me, basically. Let's see. Would it be different? Well, it would be different because I mean I'd be alone, but that's fine. Birdie said I've noticed that there's huge spoilers usually in four words to books, so I always end up reading the four words last because of the spoilers contained in them. Yeah, okay. Um, no, it wouldn't be a read along. I would do a regular review of the book, and then I would have another day where I would do spoiler talk about the book on another day, but it would be a live spoiler talk. So, for example, let's say I read 54 Miles, or let's say I do Bel Ami and I do a review. Then I come back like a few days later, and it is a spoiler talk about the book live. So that means, people who have read the book will have to be in the chat for me to discuss. If there's nobody in the chat, then we ain't discussing nothing. I'll just come on and say, try um kind of make the conversation so that it's more me talking about the book and giving details of, maybe of how I felt as I was reading through the book or the things that I encountered when I was reading the book, in case there's nobody in the chat who hasn't read the book. The whole idea is that people that have read the book will want to go there to talk to me about the spoilers of the book. Now, it could just simply be hear me talk about the spoilers of the book, and I can just talk about the spoilers of the book. And if somebody wants to ask a question, well, we're in the chat live, so we can do that. What I'll probably have to do is I'll probably try to make it so that I test this out and see, how it goes. Do a regular review, and then at the end, I will announce a spoiler talk of this book. I'll call it spoiler talk, and then put the title of the book and put when it's going to be, and then that way see how it goes. We'll just have to test it out because I have no idea. Um, let's see. Okay, so daytime says that's a great idea. Okay. Curlicue said that person is crazy. Freeform. If someone says spoiler and you say it's on you at that point, yeah, absolutely. Freeform lady says there was a booktuber that would do two videos for each book, one with spoilers and the other without spoilers. I can't remember the channel. No, I don't remember that. That must be somebody I wasn't watching, but yeah, it'd be interesting to hear. Um, then Tracy said to the lady, some folks just want to find fault. Nicole said, I knew the outcome of Stepford Wives because it's an old and popular book whose name has become a part of the lexicon. Yeah. The book was still enjoyable and the ending still effective. Okay. And so Curly Q said exactly, Tracy. Yeah, people want to be difficult. So who knows? There might be one of those in February. What a spoiler talk video. Bookish spoiler talk. Yeah, that's basically what it'd be. So I would put like if I was doing this one, I put Bel Ami and I would put bookish spoiler talk. You know, so that way people will know I'm not gonna hold back. I'll just say, like Michael and Tatiana and I, we talk about all of the like the little things that were annoying or that we just like, what is that? And, we just very animated about what we read. So it would be a little bit that I would just be very honest about some of the things and talk about some of the details of the book, details of the writing, or funny things that the characters did and stuff like that. So that people can participate in this conversation um, for the spoiler talk one. So that's an idea because I know this whole thing with reviews is a very changing thing. And I know that reviews are something that people don't really like to do because it's hard to make a review. When you make a review of a book and you want it to be concise, you wanted to talk about all of the things that are going to elevate the book because you really liked it. It takes a little bit of time and energy to get that done. Now, when you're not sure how to do a review, you back on the idea, oh, I'll tell them what the plot of the book is. And it's like, no, don't tell them what the plot of the book is about. So the idea is to do all of those things without talking about necessarily the plot of the book. You want to keep it you want to keep it you want to keep it interesting, but you want to keep it really towards things like talking about the author, maybe why the author decided to write that book, or talking about the subject matter of the book. Like if it's a book about divorce or three generations of women, or and how was it written, and maybe talk about the setting and the time period, and even down to the aesthetic, like what it looks like, or like is this a readable edition, kind of thing. Is it not a readable edition? So there's like plenty of other things you can talk about still while elevating the book without giving away all of the spoilers. And then, in my spoiler video, then I would probably be a little bit more candid, like, well, I really hated that character because he was crazy because he did X, Y, and Z, or what was this? Like, I don't know. This even plausible that somebody would do something like this? You can be more candid and start talking about things that are detailed within the story. That's fine in a sport. That would be what I would talk about, like in a spoiler talk video kind of thing. Okay. Hey Christian, how are you? Welcome, welcome. What are you reading? And how is your 2025 going? Are you avoiding the news or are you just reading your books and being great? Let's see. Amalola said, wonder what the TikTok folk will do if the app, well, the TikTok folks probably gonna come over to Bookstagram and they will just flood the reels with those same kind of book talk videos that they were doing over on Book Talk. They'll do those over on Bookstagram. I mean, it's an easy switch. Now, it's true. Maybe it's not necessarily the way that Bookstagrammers do their reels, but I feel like at this point in time, the whole social media network concerning books per se has blown the f up. Okay, so everybody reading. Okay, it's never been cooler to be a person who reads and a person who has a book channel or an Instagram or something. Pretty cool. Now the problem is you're doing your videos, whether they be short or long form, but you're doing them towards your audience, whoever they are. Okay. So if you're on TikTok, you've been on TikTok and you're doing the book talk situation. So your videos are probably super short and they're formatted in a completely different way than maybe if you do a short here on YouTube or a reel over on Instagram. So whenever you switch platforms, you have to switch your content and the way you put your content up accordingly. So these people are, when they move to Bookstagram, because they're probably most likely will move to Bookstagram, I think. Maybe some will move to BookTube and try to just do shorts all the time. Although shorts on YouTube, people use them differently, a little differently. People use shorts in order to get people to see their real channel. Whereas Reels is just Reels for Reels. It's a little bit like TikTok, but a different setup. So that's why I feel like a lot of them will go over to Bookstagram. But I know there was some drama going on about, oh my God, if all the book talkers come over to, some of the book talkers like, oh, we're going to come over to Bookstagram and we're going to change and we're going to make it interesting. Bookstagrammers were looking at him with the side like, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with Bookstagram. So they were like kind of like beefing it out. I'm like, y'all beefing, we don't even know what's happening. Like if TikTok is gonna disappear or not. So I feel like it has a lot to do with that. You're gonna go on the platform where you feel like you can adapt to what is on that, what you were doing before to the new platform. YouTube shorts, the problem is they're short. They're real short. And they don't necessarily grow your channel either. So it's gonna be a free for all for sure. Let's see. Birdie said I struggle with reviews because I feel like I have more to say when I don't like a book versus. Well, yeah, that happens. I mean that's even the thing in a book club. Like oh my God, that discussion is rich because we did not like that book. Um, but I feel like as a whole, if I like a book, I'm so much happier to review it because when I review a book that I don't like, I have to really admit to somebody that I don't like it. I try to be very, diplomatic about it in a sense where I have to say, look, I personally didn't get along with it because of X, Y, and Z, but that doesn't mean you may not get along with it. And then there's like maybe one book here or there. I was like, hell no, nobody can get along with this book. But it's rare that I actually say that. But I feel like it's the way things are. I don't feel like I can be an effective um, book content creator if I'm not being honest about the books that I don't like. I can't be one of those channels where they like everything and the stuff that they don't like, they just don't talk about it. They just act like, oh, you didn't see me show that book. You didn't see that, kind of thing. I can't do that. I think that's impossible that I could do that. Not with a straight face. It just wouldn't work. Hey Raymond, how are you? What are you reading? Oh, hey Cher, how are you? Let's see. Christian said, Lord knows I'm avoiding the news. Reading the blueprint. Oh, the blueprint is so good. Yeah, it's heavy, but it's really good. I wish more people would have read the blueprint. I did a review on the blueprint. Didn't nobody watch it, but I did a review on it all the same. Um, let's see. Nicole said to Birdie, I go off on bad books. Yeah, a lot of people do. Nicole said Instagram is basically TikTok. Where are the pictures? Nicole said I haven't been able to get into any new book influencers because I don't read popular books and always on the backlist. Well, I can give you somebody if you like somebody who reads classics and backlist is check out Noteworthy Fiction. She's fantastic. Nicole, her name is Nicole as well. I really like her. She's put me on to a few things and I like her channel a lot. So if you're looking for somebody who doesn't just read popular books, go over to Noteworthy Fiction. She's got a really good channel. Let's see. Cher says if someone likes every book they review, then it doesn't mean anything when they say something is great. Exactly. I could have said it better myself. Exactly that. You were so right. Raymond said, I'm reading The Life of Herod the Great by Zora Neale Hurston. I can't wait to hear what people think about that one. Lex said, I love her when it comes to backlists and classics. Oh, you're talking about Noteworthy Fiction. That's all she mostly reads is backlists and classics. She doesn't read much else. Tracy said The Blueprint, yeah, by Ray Gianna Rashad. Yeah, that was excellent, that book. No, it did not get the buzz it deserved. I was a little sad about that. I really was. Amalo said, yeah, I like Nicole's channel, especially because I want to pay my classics some attention this year. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have this thing I want to read this year. I want to read Tom Jones this year. Tom Jones is about 900 pages, but I still want to read it. Because it's one that's been on my list for a while, and I want to read a couple of others um this year. So I will be reading this one, Northanger Abbey, because that was in my husband's pick pile. So I picked this one out. So it's a short one. It's Jane Austen. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but because the last Jane Austen I read was Emma, and I ain't like Emma. I mean, Emma was irritating. So I don't know. I hope this is gonna be good though. So I'll let you know. Let's see. Daytime said I just finished One of Our Kind by Nicola Yoon. Okay, it was a disappointment. Oh, geez, sorry. Okay, good. Yeah, check her out, Nicole. I think you will like her. I really like her channel. Simply Soft says I'm currently reading the Book of Night. Oh my God, that's one of my faves. Oh, that book is so good. The Book of Night Women. I tell you, my goodness, that book. And I read it like it was summer, so I was like reading the physical copy when I was at home, and then when I would go out for my walk, I would put in my earbuds, and I'd go out for a walk and I'd be listening. The Book of Night Women. The Book of Night Women had me acting a fool out in the street. I'm like walking. I'm like, I'm like doing all kinds of weird stuff like that. People looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm reacting to the Book of Night Women. That book is so good. If you're in here and you have not read the Book of Night Women, by Marlon James, get your life and get that book. It's so good. Really, really good. 5 star. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, so Tracy says hands up to Marlon James. Teresa says, oh yes, the Book of Night Women was fire. Lady said the Book of Night Women was excellent. See, told you. This book is good. Oh, great. You just subbed to Noteworthy Fiction. Yeah, she's very good. You'll like her channel. Amalola said Cindy's book club is reading that this month. The book. Oh, they are. They're reading. I thought they had already read something like that in her club. But okay. Well, the Book of Night Women is an excellent. It's an excellent book. There's a lot to talk about in that book. Um, let's see. D said his best work. Amalola said can't wait for the discussion. The Caribbeans go in and are so funny. Yeah, they'll probably go in. I know which parts they're gonna go in on. So when you if you finish reading it, I don't know if you've read it already. We'll talk about some of the points I think they're gonna go in on. But yeah. So Christian said Marlon James teaches in a college. Oh, he teaches in a college by you. Wow. Okay. Well, he's very cool and he's very approachable. Um, Met him twice. He's very nice. He's a very nice man. Birdie said I picked up the audio. It was on sale. I'm planning on picking it. Oh, nice. The Book of Night Women. The next Marlon James that I plan on picking up is The Brief History of Southern Killings. That one is really good too, but I highly recommend the audio because that patois was a little tough. Cher says first time I've been able to. Oh, it's the first time you've been able to catch it live. Wonderful. Just started. Oh, mom. Okay, of Human Bondage, and I have not read that, but it is on my classics to read list. Just finished Heavy. Oh yeah, that one was really good. I read that one a couple years ago, and it broke me. And Big Swiss by Jen Began. Both were great. God, you got some great reads on. Amalilla said, sure, I'd like to discuss it with others as well, so I'll be in the end. Amalilla said, yes, I want to meet Marlon Jan. God, yeah, he's so nice. I mean, super, super nice. He gives great writing advice. He gave me some great writing advice. He was just really, really nice. Really, really, really nice. WA said, hi, Didi. I just came across an author wanted to pass around Mauro Vargas Llosa. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I haven't read anything by this author. Teresa said the audiobook was very good. Yeah, Robin Miles reads it. Yeah. She's excellent. Mario Vargas Llosa. Yeah, I've heard of this author's name, but I haven't read anything by this person. Yes, welcome, Cher. Cher's been following me for a while. I'm glad she could catch the live tonight or the afternoon or wherever you are. Yeah, there's, yeah, reviewing books is just, I feel like that's just part of who we are as content creators. And it's true, we don't have to wait and see what happens with TikTok, but I have a feeling short reviews are going to become a thing if TikTok gets shut down. It will become a real thing because it will flood both, maybe not so much YouTube, but I think it will definitely flood Instagram, and it might even flood Lemon 8 or Fanbase or all three. I mean, that's what I think. I'm not sure of that, but that's what I feel like because these Lemonade fan base and Bookstagram are, they kind of can fit that kind of quick video that book talkers are used to making. YouTube, it's just there's something that's a little different about it that I don't think will work as well. Let's see. Um, Amalua said to W, I have The Neighborhood by him on my shelves. Need to get to it. Yeah, okay. So that's it, you guys. I am going to love you and leave you. It is already 7:14 p.m. This has been interesting. You're giving me some ideas for reviewing, and yeah, I thank you for that. Thanks for coming in and sharing what you're reading. If you didn't see what I was reading because you came in later, I'm reading Bel Ami by Guy de Maupassant, and I'm reading in French with Anna. And I'm reading this one here, which is called Penitent by Marc Legat, which I'm finishing this up for my book club tomorrow. Book club tomorrow afternoon, which we're having Marc Legat at the book club on Skype. Okay, so let's see what everybody's going to say. Thank you so much, Rosa, for that. The pushing the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sure, that would make create like you more a niche, which hopefully would mean more money. Yeah, I hope so. Wishes for a great weekend. Great weekend to you too. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks so much. And I'll be here next Friday with bells on, so we'll talk about something else bookish. See you. Bye.